What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and something awfully fishy continues to be going on at YouTube. And when you combine it with things that are going on in the mainstream media right now, the rebranding of, seemingly anyway, the COOF, and YouTube removing weirdly timing the removal of certain restrictions, I think that there's more to this story. I think it's more than just a coincidence. And by the way, we're going to be discussing this, Sydney Watson and I, tonight on our weekly podcast right here on this channel at 5 o'clock. So make sure I'll set the event up today so you can go into the waiting room. I'd love to see you there. It's going to be a fun show. But it's curious. It's getting curiouser and curiouser, making me wonder why these things are getting changed and the timing is off. If we look at, for example, yesterday's Politico tweet, now it's like the Trump administration pressured the FDA to authorize treatments, and the first pokes on an accelerated timeline, according to White House report released Wednesday. Why are they wording this like, I thought it was the savior that everyone had to get it, and if you unless you wanted to kill grandma, like, why is this? And then you see Tim Young. So the media gave Biden and Fauci credit for everything when it was looking good. And now that things aren't looking so good, they're pivoting to blaming Trump. Got it. Stick saying, Orange Man bad has become such an egregore, I don't know, egregor, that it has political making poke hesitancy posts. Now the public sentiment has turned against the poke. It's Trump's fault again. This is an article that says from October 7th saying Biden says he started the poke program despite Trump's rollout. And so it begins. And like, you can see a lot of people called this. And why is Politico writing that? Tim writes, Trump getting it out was a good thing, though, right? Why are they making it sound bad? Well, it seems like you'd be forgiven for wondering exactly what's going on there. And you see Matt Kibbe writing, they're getting ready to flip the script so the right bad guys get blamed. I don't know what they're getting blamed for, to be honest with you. I thought everything was good. And then you time that with not only yesterday's YouTube changes, but now today, several more changes. Now Tim writes, YouTube has removed the rules barring claims that the pokes do not reduce the risk of getting the COOF. Essentially, you can now say that they do not prevent. That's what he's saying. I'm not saying that. He says, essentially, you can now say that the poke does not prevent. You see here, claims that it does not reduce, and now that's gone. Isn't that interesting? Here's archives of it. He also wrote, looks like these are gone too. There were that you could say, these are all things that used to get you strikes. Claims that wearing it causes oxygen levels, claims that cause all these things, claims that wearing, they remove these. Why? So Tim Pool, verified YouTube journalist, states, YouTube now allows you to claim that, make claims about social distancing, masks, and oxygen levels, that, things about the poke. I'm afraid to even say it. I'm afraid to even say it. But why? It feels like there's a new narrative coming, doesn't there? Like, hypothetically, they could say, oh, well, wow, this was a true disaster. It's a true disaster. And if only Trump had taken more time to roll things out, if only Trump had tested things better. I don't get it. Why is, and by the way, here's the scary part. Nobody's covering it. Not a single article. I guess I shouldn't say scary. I should say ridiculously predictable. Not a single mainstream news outlet's covering it. Nobody's talking about it. Why do you think that is? obviously I can't be 100% certain that they all know that it's happening and that they're purposely not reporting on it. I couldn't make that claim as fact, but it's certainly, I could forgive people for thinking that, right? And now they and like, again, this is back in September. YouTube is banning all content that spreads certain misinformation. This article, is YouTube's crackdown on poke misinformation going to be effective? You see liberal highman writing, YouTube reverses their quote mask policy guidelines. I still got a strike and a 1-week ban for playing a Ron DeSantis video on it, which, by the way, didn't even break their guidelines. Now, because of the strike, I might not get my gold play button. Reverse the policy, reverse the strikes. Like, all these people that they banned from the platform, that they gave strikes, now suddenly are just tough cookies. Then they roll out this new program. Again, why is the only website reporting on this fizz.org? Why isn't it on CNN? Why isn't it on the Washington Post? Why isn't it on Fox? I don't even know. Experiment on YouTube reveals potential to, quote, inoculate millions of users against misinformation. Short animations giving viewers a taste of the tactics behind misinformation can help inoculate people against harmful content on social media. This sounds like propaganda. When deployed in YouTube's advertising slot, according to a major online experiment led by the University of Cambridge, working with Jigsaw, a unit of Google dedicated to tackling issues on open societies, a team of psychologists from the University of Cambridge and Bristol created 90-second clips designed to familiarize users with manipulation techniques such as scapegoating and deliberate incoherence. Thus, pre-bunking strategy will preemptively exposes people to tropes at the root of malicious information so they can better identify online falsehoods regardless of the subject matter. How do you think that this is going to be deployed? How do you think? It sounds good, right? Educating people sounds good, seems good. But how do we think that this is going to be deployed? It's going to go on dissident channels, right? And it's going to play in the place of ads. So they can demonetize you with these ad rolls. Researchers behind the Inoculation Science Project compare it to a poke by giving people a microdose of misinformation in advance. It helps prevent them from falling for it in the future. An idea based on what social psychologists call inoculation theory. This could never be used for evil, I'm sure. Only good causes. Researchers behind the science project are the findings published in Science Advances come from 7 experiments involving almost 30,000 participants, 7 experiments, including the first real-world field study of inoculation theory on a social media platform. A single viewing of a film clip increases awareness of misinformation. The video introduces concepts of misinformation playbook, illustrated with relatable examples of film and TV, such as Family Guy, or in the case of false dichotomies, Star Wars, only a Sith deals in absolutes. YouTube has well over 2 billion active users worldwide. Our videos could easily be embedded within the ad space on YouTube to pre-bunk misinformation, said study co-author Professor Sander, head of social media making labs. Isn't that interesting? So we already have the flag below our videos, but now YouTube is going to potentially be running pre-bunking information. Now, it all sounds good, like they're going to use it for good, and they're going to, it's going to be for the righteous cause. But I'm very concerned that they'll use this for other reasons and in other instances. Our interventions make no claims on what is true or fact, which is often disputed. They are effective for anyone who does not appreciate being manipulated, he says. Hey, maybe it works. Maybe it works.
Either you...
maybe it works. You see this kind
Reality,
of stuff.
there are more. As with our little dilemma at the beginning, there's no reason why.
Wait.
Or you want all puppies to die. Makes sense, right? No? Good, because it shouldn't. It's a common manipulation technique called a false dichotomy, or a false dilemma. It's designed to make you think you only got 2 choices to choose from, when in reality, there are more. As with our little
I think that this is good, right? Used in this format, I think that... Oh, look at this. You use this, it has 300 views. I thought you had 30,000 participants. My first experience of misinformation was back in 1981 when the world started calling me Einstein at the goading of American critical race practitioners. I don't know. It seems like, look, I want to be clear. I strongly loathe, like especially medical misinformation that people, you know, with these false panaceas or cure-alls. If you run these type of things on their ads, on their videos, I think this could be an effective way to debunk this stuff without quote unquote banning channels. But will we see it used in that manner? That remains to be seen, and I am very concerned on how this will be deployed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Wherever you're watching me, Rumble, Odyssey, or BitChute, or here on YouTube, please do click that subscribe button down below. I would greatly appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.